And welcome back to The Watchman. We are in Washington, D.C. right now. You see the team behind me setting up for the Christians United for Israel Washington Summit. On that stage behind me tonight will be some incredible speakers. You'll see them here on the show next week. But up first, we're heading back to Israel, to Jerusalem, with our good friend Avi Melamed, top Middle East and security analyst. When we want the latest developments on the Middle East and why it matters to you, we call on Avi. And this week, he breaks down the growing Iran and Hezbollah threats and tells us why an Iranian general may just be the most dangerous man in the Middle East. Take a look. Avi, when we talk about Iran and Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, much of the chaos in this region, in Yemen, Syria, and elsewhere, one name keeps coming up, and that name is Qasem Soleimani.
Right.
Who is he, and why do some people call him the most dangerous man in the Middle East?
Qasem Soleimani is a very intriguing person. He's a major general within the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, and his former position, he is the commander of the Al-Quds force. Al-Quds is the Arab name for Jerusalem.
Yeah.
He's the commander of Al-Quds force. This is actually, if you would think about the Revolutionary Guard as the spearhead of the whole Mullah regime, the Al-Quds force is the pinpoint of that spearhead. And Al-Quds force, which is under the leadership of Soleimani, has one major mission, and that is to export or to spread the Islamic revolution in different parts of the region, particularly through the either establishing and nurturing of chains of proxies. And the person that holds this whole network of relationship is Major General Qasem Soleimani. Now, he is very interesting because he's been around for the last almost 40 years. Wow. He was a young officer in the 80s.
So he's a true believer. Since the beginning of the revolution, he's been there in the vanguard. Yeah.
Definitely. He's a true believer. He is very well connected and enjoyed a lot of reputation and a lot of immunity within the system itself.
And he's seen in the region, by the way. He's been cited in Iraq and Syria. He moves around a bit.
He moves around all the time. Yeah. He moves around all the time, particularly in the area stretching from Lebanon all the way to Iran. He's very clever, he's very sophisticated. He acts on a very low profile, beyond the scenes, very influential. Some people are defining him as the real ruler of Iraq. Wow. Basically arguing that he walks around in Iraq.
In Iraq, not Iran. He's Iranian, but in Iraq, Iran's next door neighbor. He's taking advantage.
He walks around in Iraq and he acts like he's the owner of the home, he's the boss. Wow. He's very influential. He's involved, and particularly in the last years, with this whole Iranian expansion in different parts of the region. Whenever you find the Iranian proxies in the region, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Islamic Jihad in Palestine, in Gaza Strip, Hamas, Afghans, Shiite militias in Syria, Pakistani Shiite militias in Syria, Iraqi Shiite militias, you will find the fingerprints of Qasem Soleimani.
Wow. Folks, he's a very dangerous man. That's a name to remember, Qasem Soleimani. Avi, a dangerous man, dangerous developments, but you make it all so easy to understand, my friend. Thank you, as always, for joining us here in The Watchman. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully, we'll be out in the field on one of these borders again real soon.
As always, my pleasure, my friend.
Our pleasure. Thank you, Avi. Coming up, the Iranian regime's war against America and what you need to know. That's after the break. Don't move.